always. But okay, so y'all, I wanted to do this video in the house, but I'm in the car and I got time to kill, so it's like, hey, y'all want the video, y'all ain't gonna care what it said. So I wanted to do this video last week, but I had just finished classes. I passed, y'all. I ended up with a 3.5 GPA. I'm not mad about it. I know it could have been a 4.0, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But I did pass with A's and B's, so I'll take it. But so from the title, it says 43 to a 90. So we're gonna get into that. Because I actually put a lot in my notes that I wanted to talk about my first semester as a medical assistant student. So first off, to the mamas out there, to the wives out there, when you're trying to, further your education or just do anything in life and you're trying to balance it all, trust and believe, I understand that firsthand. Because as I always tell y'all, my husband a truck driver. We got 2 babies. Well, I don't want to say 2 babies because it's only my kids are 5 and 3 now. And so trying to balance everything and show up for my kids, show up for my husband, show up for my immediate family, show up for my family I created, and just show up for me, it's a lot. It's a lot, especially if you're doing what you're supposed to in them roles. But it's doable. You can do it. But you most definitely got to ask God for strength, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, common sense. And y'all may be like, all that. Yes, I mean seriously, because y'all, without God, you ain't gonna get through it. I just mean no harm. You will not get through it, because it's a lot. But what was I about to say? Yeah. So hold on, let me read my notes. So in this video, I'm gonna talk to y'all about how my first semester went, how I lost my focus but how I regained it, and just how I balanced everything. Oh, sorry y'all, I had got an email from the neighbor from where we stay at. But anyway, if you're new here, my name is Ada Michelle, whatever, you know me by whatever. If you know, you know. But and if you're new here, go ahead and hit like. You can comment, you can subscribe, do whatever you want to do. But welcome, welcome in. Okay. But so on my channel, you're gonna hear the real, the raw. I'm not coming with I'm not saying other people do it, but I'm coming with it real and raw. Most people, they're gonna try to give you something that ain't real just for entertainment. That's not what I'm doing. I'm giving you real raw. So if you're going through this current situation, or you're going through anything that I speak on, you can understand. So that's that. Now, alright, so y'all, the first thing I do want to genuinely talk about though is how I went into the semester. So first off, as many of y'all know, I had went to school for 2 years to become a sleep tech, and I worked hard for it. Pregnant and all, y'all. Pregnant and all. So that's that. But I have relocated, and I tried my best to pass the state exam. I ended up getting certified, but I still could not get a gig. Mind you, I worked other places without having, being registered and all that, whatever. So it was kind of crazy. But I was like, you know what, it is what it is. This is just giving me time to focus on, content, my kids, my marriage, my relationship with God, my inner healing, etc., etc. So I was upset, but, whatever. So then I end up telling my husband I want to go back to school. So I was like, you know what, let me look into different things. Because I was like, I always want to be a nurse, but then I just feel like that's too much for me and my family right now. And I know with nursing, you really got to be focused, especially me. Especially me. I can't speak for nobody else, but for me, I know. So, but yeah, so okay, so y'all, I ended up hitting up the medical assistant department at the school, and he was like, oh, well, you just missed the deadline, whatever. And y'all was hiding here, sorry. You had just missed the deadline, but we still can, try, whatever. And so I ended up getting accepted. I ended up going to orientation. I had missed it, like I said in the old video, I had told y'all how I couldn't go to the first orientation, but I wasn't upset because I felt like, you know, if it's meant to be, God gonna make a way. And God made a way because it was a second orientation, and they was like, congratulations. I was like, wait, whoa, was not ready to commit just yet, because I had so much I had to get in order, which was, how was I going to get my kids to school? How was I going to get Carter into a daycare and feel comfortable? How was I going to make sure my husband was good? Because that would be like a big adjustment for our family. But one thing about it, like I have told y'all before, this journey right here, this medical assistant journey, that's nothing but God. Because y'all be wondering, I'm like, how am I gonna pay for my classes? Like, because y'all done been in school since I graduated high school, so you know you're gonna run out of financial aid at some point. And I'm like, dang, how am I gonna pay for it? But God made a way. When I became an apprentice, well, pre-apprentice, let me check myself, but excuse me, y'all, that was so rude, but I didn't want it to come out loud. But God made a way. God made a way. That's covered. That's paid for. And then I was worrying about Jesus. I was worrying about the next semester after that, because I didn't get the job as an apprentice. Well, I was told that I had a job, but then like I got an email when I was in the gym saying that I didn't. So I was just like, what? But I didn't question it, because this journey, I'm sitting in the passenger seat. And I'm letting God drive, because like I told you, I don't know how to drive. Okay? So I wasn't mad, and I just focused back on what I can do and what I can't do. You know what I mean? Well, I didn't focus on what I can't do, but I focused on what I can do, and only what I can do. So what happened? Anyway, so yeah, that's that. But God been making a way. Like when it come down to my kids in school, their after school, who be having my kids, like God made a way 100%. Sorry, y'all, my phone is like going off and it's like distracting. But God has been making a way for me and my family, and I'm just thankful. I'm just blessed. All in all, I'm just truly grateful to God. But y'all, I want to get into how I told y'all, how I just said that I lost my focus. Because when I went in, I said, you know what, I'm not going to get distracted. This is something new. This is something sacred. So when I went into the semester, I stayed to myself. I was completing assignments before they was even supposed to be completed. I was locked in. I was focused. I was in my word. I was doing what I was supposed to. I was locked in with God, and I was locked in with myself and the family I created. But y'all, the moment that I joined into a group, I seen myself slipping. I was like, no, I'm good. You know, I'm strong enough. But I wasn't. And I felt like God was showing me, like, this is why, you know, da-da-da. But at the end of the semester, our very last final that we took, I come to school early. Like, after I drop my kids off, I go straight to school, because like, if I go home, I'm gonna go lay down, and I'm gonna be mad if I gotta get back up. So I went to the school, and one of my classmates was like, hey y'all, if y'all here, I'm in the lounge, and I'm studying. So I meet her at the lounge, and I get over there, we talking. But we not just talking, y'all. When I say nothing but, we talking about God the entire time. We talking. Mind you, it was about an hour and some change. We were just talking about how God has shown us this semester, how he had opened up our eyes. And I'm just like, ooh, God really sent it. You know what I mean? And before, I'm going to be real. Girl, if you see this, you know what I'm talking about you. I kind of looked at her kind of funny when I first met her, because I'm like, there's something about her, like. But who am I to judge? Who am I to put something on her? You know what I mean? But, okay, so then to proceed on, we only had 15 minutes left, and we studied. So when we took our final exam, we were looking at each other smiling, didn't even know. But we had so much confidence in ourselves, because we finally did what we were supposed to. Now, I'm not going to speak on nobody else, but I really worked hard for my 3.5, because I personally didn't cheat on anything besides like this thing called learning objectives. Sometimes it'd be like 30 of them things, and I'm like, yo, I read the chapter, I'm not finna go through this. Like, I'm not finna, like, y'all, it was so freaking much. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna sit there and do all of that, which it wasn't technically cheating. It was just basically like summing it up, but at the same time it was cheating, okay? But So I was very proud of myself, whereas others, oh, I got a 3.9 or I did it, and I'm like, yeah, because you cheated. I never cheated on the test. I never cheated on the final. I never did any of that. Like, that was off me. You know what I mean? But me and my friend, we were saying, you know what, next semester, it has to be a difference. And if people can't get with the program, they got to get left. Because at the end of the day, we ain't going to make friends. I didn't come to make friends. I came to get this education and to leave. Because at the end of the day, when I go to school, I go to school. But when I go home, I go home. So, yeah. So I feel like God was just showing me, like, remain focused. Like, focus on me. Focus on what I got you here for. Don't keep getting out the car to go in the gas station, go get some candy when we supposed to keep on driving. So, that's that. And, hold on. Okay, so let me talk about the grade, okay? So, y'all, the reason why it's called 43 to a 90 is because I feel like that's a testament moment. Because, y'all, when we were taking, the first day of class for orientation to medical assistant, she told us we had to take a pretest. Mind you, my friend Makia had told me we would have to take one during orientation, so I was prepared for that, but I wasn't prepared for the actual class that we had to take it for. So the first day of school, I'm like, what? You tripping? So I looked at that paper and I did what I knew, and then I left the rest blank, y'all. I left it blank because it pissed me off. Cause I was, man, I don't care. Like, I was pissed, y'all. And the fact that she put it in the grade book kind of really pissed me off, because I'm like, now I'm sitting here with a 43. Like, bro, don't piss me off. But that just goes to say, I didn't try because I was irritated, and I felt like, why would you do that? But what I did learn is that I could have tried. But nonetheless, y'all, I went from a 43 on my pretest to a 90% on the post-test. And I'm very proud of me, because me and math, no ma'am. And it was just really me in my head, because the stuff that we had to do is very, very common sense. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I still do suck at the metric system. Like, I don't want to say I suck, but because I have improved, but I still second guess myself a little bit. And like, throughout this semester, I really have second guessed myself. Like, I know it, but I will second guess myself so bad. Like, that's why I be so hard on my son, because I'm like, stop second guessing yourself. You got it. But so nonetheless, y'all, I passed all my courses with A's and B's. Next semester, I am gonna go even harder, because I know what I'm capable of. I graduate in December, y'all. I'm so excited. Like, I'm really excited. So my next semester start Monday, May 18th. So these are like our lab days or whatever. So we'll be like, getting in there, hands on, this, that, and the third. And I'm excited, but I'm more excited for like my growth that I'm finna see within myself, and that's on a spiritual level and a physical level. Like, how far God is finna, take me, and how much He finna build up my confidence spiritually and physically. So I am excited about that. And yes, I'm looking at my phone again. Okay. But so that's all I really wanted to say to y'all. But as a mama, just know that you can do it. You do have to have a support system. Now, when I say that, I don't mean like, cuss your mama out, cuss your baby daddy out. What I genuinely mean is find people and find resources. Like, there's so many resources out here. Hit up the wherever you stay at, hit up the human resources centers, whatever it's called. Don't care what y'all talking about. Ask them, do they have vouchers? Ask them, do they have childcare help anywhere, anyhow? Because honestly and truly, you're gonna need it. Like, even if it's after school, if it's before, whatever, it's gonna be a way that you can get it done. And whatever you do, no matter how hard it get, do not give up. Because we are stronger than we think we are. We just sell ourselves short most of the time. I've been finding strength within myself that I didn't realize I had. And but I'm very strong. I know I am. But yeah, and keep God first. Always keep God first. Even if you feel like you did get out the car to go grab you a snack, whatever, always remember He's still right there. But you got to do your part. He's gonna always do His part and keep His promises, but you have to do the same thing. At the end of the day, He's not saying you got to be on your knees praying for hours and hours, but to have a conversation with him. My thing is, if you can be on the phone with your homegirl or your family member for hours and hours and hours and y'all ain't talking about nothing, you can talk to God at the end of the day. So that's that. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But just know that if ain't nobody else proud of you, I'm proud of you. If ain't nobody else rooting for you, I'm rooting for you. Like, at the end of the day, we can do this. We gonna do this. Like, we them girls, we them boys. Like, but at the end of the day, whatever you're going for, whether it's a job, whether it's schooling, whether whatever it is, even if it's just being a stay-at-home mom, being a stay-at-home parent, you got this. Do not give up. And like I said, keep God first. Seriously, you have to keep God first. Because don't feel like you're on your high horses, because God can bring you right back down. Right back down. Okay? But, yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Hold on. Oh, and all in all, don't let no bad thing that comes your way during a moment that you feel like, basically, don't get discouraged. Like, despite gang despite anything that you're going through, if it feels like it's an attack, do not get I keep getting tongue tied, but do not get discouraged and do not give up, because that's basically what your mind wants. That's basically what them demons want. They want you to give up. They want you to quit, but don't. Because like I said, you're stronger than you think. So yeah, that's just my input. And next semester, I'm coming more confident. I'm coming with more confidence. I'm coming with more discipline, and etc. So if I can do it, y'all can do it. Okay? So yeah, but if there's like any questions y'all actually want to know deeper about what I actually learned, don't hesitate to comment or ask. But honestly, it was just the intro, so we did more like book work, reading, nothing really hands-on besides like practicing talking to patients, but nothing really hands-on. So that's what we finna do next semester. So but yeah, so that's that. Jeez, I'm just kidding. All right, until next time, guys.